Hello everyone and welcome to Coco Creates, my Flosstube channel. I'm Zoe and this is Coco, and we are here with my it's December, but my November recap of what I've been stitching last month. So I have lots of bits to show you because last month I participated in Jenna's No New Starts November, and as part of that I wanted to try and finish as many projects as I could that I had lying around. We'll give a quick health update for Coco today as well, and touch on not my plans for next year but my plans for December. In December I will be, in December I will be filming my plans for next year, so that will be a separate video. But yes, so where should we start? I suppose we'll start where we always start, so with my whips, what I've been working on, and we always start with my WIPGO board. So WIPGO, this is the brainchild of Jessie Marie over at Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and this was the first year that I have participated in it, and we're still doing it. We're still ticking off our boxes, so we're 11 months in and we've done 22 boxes, which is good. So this month's pulls were, I can't remember the numbers because I didn't write them down, but I know they were, one was for my Animal Kingdom and one was for my Bathtime. So, which does mean that next month, or rather this month, because it's now like the 3rd of December. So this month, the two numbers drawn are both for my Animal Kingdom. So it means a whole month of just doing that project. But we'll see how I get on. So anyway, this month, so I started with my Bathtime piece. I don't have any of my pictures out to hand, so I will put pictures in of obviously what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, sorry, and then where I started the month and then where I finished the month, which was exactly 4,000 stitches. I did make it to the top of the strip that I was working, and I started coming back down as well. So I think I'd misjudged how many stitches I had left in that stripe. So yeah, at the start of the month I wasn't sure if I'd make it to the end, but I did. So yes, and this one I worked on it for 6 days, and it is now finishing the year at 66.42%. I think that my goal for the year was to get to 65, so we reached that, or well, surpassed it a little bit. But yes, so that was that one. There we go. So Bathtime is it's charted by Selena Fenech. It's no longer on the Haid website, I'm afraid, but it is designed by Selena Fenech but charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So then my other WIPGO roll was for my Animal Kingdom. So this one is a design by Aimee Stewart, and again is charted by Heaven and Earth. Since they've kind of dropped into their AI art, I don't tend to go on there anymore to see what's on there, so I don't know if this one is still available, but this is the Supersize Max Colour version, and I did 4,012 stitches on this one. I finished the eagle. I think I got to the finish of the eagle, and I've just started like the little foot of the next penguin, so there's like 3 stitches of the next penguin's like toes that I'd started on this stripe, and I worked on this for just 4 days. Somehow, even though this one is a lot more confetti heavy than my other one, the days that I'd stitch in it, I do tend to get a lot more stitches in. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's that because it is so confetti heavy, it's very sort of like, you know, like just one more. Like I think, oh, I'll just do another. I'll just do the next colour because there's only like 6. I'll just do the next one because there's only, you know, half a dozen stitches. Oh, okay, I'll do another colour. Oh, I'll do the next bit. Yeah, I'm not sure why I tend to stitch more on this one than others in a day, but I mean, I'm not complaining. But it's just, you know, I think the one day I stitched 1,756 stitches on this in one day, which I think is one of the highest from stitch counts for my year. But yeah, either way, so yeah, 4 days of this, and I left this at 18.72%. I am hoping to reach 20% by the end of the year. I don't know if next month's WIPGO rolls, which are 4,000 for each square, so I don't know if 8,000 will get me to the 20%. I haven't actually done the maths on that. I mean, I think it will, because 1% is about 7,500, 7,600, and I've got to do like 1.3%, so it might be enough. I think that's going to be my goal though. If I do the 8,000 and it's not at 20%, I will keep going to hit the 20. So yeah, either way, I'll get to the 20%. That's my goal for this year. So there we go. Right, and that's all the pictures shown. I actually have things to hold up, physical actual items to hold up for you. Slightly out of reach. Come here. Oh, there we go. Right, here we go. Here's my board. Yes, Coco, thank you for wiping your snotty nose on them. Very much appreciated. Well done. Right, so then, in the spirit of the no new starts, so actually, technically this one I worked on next, so I will show you this now. So I might as well show you both of these because they're the same theme. But so these are for Jason X Stitch's Winter Connection. Is that your tummy? Weird noises. But yeah, so I made 2 pieces of that, and they are fully finished now. But this one still needed finishing because I needed to put on his scarf and his earmuffs, and I wanted them to match the fabric that I was going to pack it onto. So this is a tartan fabric, and I knew it had another colour running through it, but I couldn't remember what the other colour was. So I didn't want to finish him off until I found that colour. But it is red, and there is only just like 2 lines of red in the section of the fabric I cut out, but still, he does have, I've got the sun like right in the middle. Where are we going? Right, here we go. So he does have a little red scarf and red earmuffs. Oh, sorry. And at the bottom, the back stitch was, I think it was charted to say, stay toasty this winter, but like the wording came sort of right out to here, and I was worried it would kind of get lost in the fold of the fabric. So I just put it to stay toasty. There we go. I might need to pull the blinds down. But yeah, so that is that finished. And this is actually a little pocket because I've made a little rice pouch. So this will go in the, it's just a pouch of rice, regular rice, uncooked and dry. And this will just go in the microwave. You put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds to warm it up. And then it will go inside the little pouch, tuck him in there. And then this will be a nice little hand warmer for winter to keep you nice and warm and toasty. So that is one of my exchanges. So that is being sent out today. So, but yes, so that was 489 stitches I still had left to put in him, which was the scarf and the earmuffs. And there we go. And then I did also fully finish this. This is my other exchange that is going today. And this is the Winter Wishes. And yeah, I might get up and shut this blind in a minute. But I finished this into a little flat fold. So it's just got a little bit of ribbon at the bottom. And there we go. I had thought about putting some trim around it, but the trim I had very much didn't go. And I knew if I waited until I went to the shop later this week, this would not arrive in time. So I finished it with some extra fabric instead. But yes, so there we go. So that's all all stuck on. This was using one of Vonna's tutorials. I've since found that all of her tutorials have been taken down. Her channel has been completely taken down. I don't know why, and the only vague kind of hearsay that I've heard from other people is sort of that she hadn't, you know, had received some not very nice messages and things, and from what it sounds like is that she kind of was essentially bullied off of YouTube, which is not something we should be doing. Like, it's supposed, like, we're sharing crafty things that we're making. Like, we shouldn't really stoop to be bullying people to an extent where they have to completely disappear from the internet because people are so nasty to them. So I know Nicola, Simply Stitcher, always talks about this and says, you know, to sort of be kind in what you're saying. I'd like to think we all do that. Clearly not everybody is nice and kind, but you know, if we could all try to kind of watch out for each other and sort of spread that kindness, not just because like of the time of year, but like all year, like, so yeah. But still, that is that finished and all ready to go. So what was next? Now next, as it seems really like weird to go from that to like back to whips now, but you know, still. So next up, as part of like I said, Jenna's No New Starts November, I wanted to take this opportunity to actually finish some projects that I had. So I went through my list of whips, and this one I had written down that I only had a couple of thousand stitches left on it. So I thought, well, 2,000 stitches is not that much in a month. You know, I regularly do about 16,000, I think. So I thought, I can knock out 2,000 a month, that's fine. Now I had estimated the stitches on this because it is a dimensions piece, which means it's on paper. So I'd kind of guessed at it, and it's Seashell Treasures, which is a, yes, gold collection petites. I got it on sale apparently, but yes. So it is that one there. I don't know. There we go. I don't know if I pop it out, it would have less glare. Oh, much better. There we go. That is this one. And I will pop in a picture of where it started. So I'd kind of just about got to the halfway mark. Or actually, I think I wasn't quite halfway. Yeah, I think that was my problem. I wasn't halfway. I thought I was halfway, which meant I thought I only had to do the number of stitches I'd already done to finish it. So thinking, well, I've done 2,000 and that's half, so the other half should be. I hadn't made it halfway. I've literally just noticed that now looking at it, because I'm sure I'd only got to, I need to shut these, it seems so bad shutting the sun out. I'd only finished this shell, so I was working from this way along, and I think I'd just got to here with this little purple bit. I hadn't started this conch yet, and as you can see, that is not quite half. So that was my problem there, because I actually had more than 2,000 stitches on this. In fact, Jenna set up a little Facebook group for the Instagram group for the No New Starts, and I was messaging on there saying I've done my 2,000, and I'm like, I still have more stitches. Like there's so much stitching to do. And yeah, it was because I'd overestimated how far I'd got, and yes, that was on me. But anyway, after all that, I will actually show you this, because I did eventually finish it. So this was 2,850 stitches, so it's almost 3,000 stitches in this, and it took me 7 days across the month, but it is all completely finished now. I can't even see around, trying to peek around the screen to see if you can tell. But yeah, it's done as a as called for. So I used the kit Ada, the kit threads, and did what the dimensions instructions were. So some of it's half stitch, some of it's full stitch, using 1, 2, 3, just 1, 2, 3 threads, and then the back stitch again is using between 1 and 3 strands as well. So yeah, so it's sort of very, oh gosh, very dimensional. So lots of sort of French knots, and French knots of varying thicknesses as well. So some of them were using 2 strands, some 3 strands, and I just made sure to go around my needle the same number of times for all of the different French knots, and then the size was only dictated by the number of threads that I was using, if that makes sense. But yes, it's hard work. One thing that I did do that made this infinitely easier was in fact I started by photocopying the chart. So I'm going to photocopy the chart, and then I can start drawing on it and mark off what I've done, and that might be easier. And as soon as I got it photocopied, I sat down and started going to mark it off, and I'm like, why don't I just put this onto Pattern Keeper? So I scanned it in. I used the scan and scanned that straight into Pattern Keeper. It took maybe about 10 minutes to even it up, because I was sort of taking a photo. I took a photo of the scan on my phone, and then uploaded that photo into Pattern Keeper. And so I did have to like line up the lines a little bit. So Pattern Keeper does give you that ability to, you know, if your chart where you've took a photo, you know, where you get the creases in the paper. So instead of your lines being all nice and straight, they might sort of have bent a little bit. It does give you the ability to like straighten up all your lines on your grid, which I'm pretty sure markup does not give you that ability. It just allows you to move the corners like this, not in the middle. So yeah, so Pattern Keeper, like I said, it took me probably about 10 minutes to get it in, get it all straight. And then I could mark off what I'd done and zoom in and yeah, follow it. And that was, like I said, it's so much easier than trying to do it on paper. But yeah, I think partly the difficulty I find is that especially that chart, I know some charts they have 2 charts. Some kits come with 2 charts, so you've got the cross stitch chart and then the back stitch chart. So this was all on one. So it did mean, especially where some of the back stitch lines were quite thick, that underneath those lines I couldn't tell what the symbol was. So it would mean as I'd stitched, I would stitch through and think, oh yes, I finished that colour, finish it off, and you know, start the next one, do a few others. And then I'd realise I'd missed a stitch, and then I was having to like get that colour back out and work out where it went and fill it in. So it was kind of time consuming to keep having to go back and fill in little bits. And also with it being dimensions, it makes use of empty space as well. So it's very difficult to tell if you've missed a stitch when some of the stitches are missed on purpose. So you can't even tell, oh yes, that block is completely filled, because it's not completely filled, but you can't tell if it's not completely filled on purpose or because you've forgotten to put stitches in. So I think that was what was making it difficult. Whereas then with Pattern Keeper, I was able to kind of grey out what I'd done. Because Pattern Keeper, when you sort of scan in a chart, it doesn't register the symbols. I mean, I think sometimes it does, but this time it didn't, which was fine. That's not really what I wanted it for. I wanted it so that I could mark it off clearly and zoom in was what I wanted it on there for. But yeah, so being able to sort of have, you know, the section that I was working on and have greyed out the bits that were supposed to be crossed, you know, supposed to be stitched, and then I could sort of compare my work to that, and it was then very easy for me to tell if I missed stitched and where. So yeah, so Pattern Keeper did come in handy for this. It's finished. But yes, it took a lot longer than I thought. I thought it'd be, a couple of days and I'll be done. You know, like I've just proved with my Animal Kingdom, I can do like 1,700 stitches in a day. Like there's only 2,000 here. That's like 2 days work. 7 days that took. I must admit, I didn't actually count all the back stitch. The back stitch would have been a few hundred more, but whatever. Close enough. So it's not the point, it's finished. That's the point. It's done. It's done. It's off my list. When did I start it? That's what I got my notepad out for. Oh, I think it was started during the 24 hours of cross stitch. So it was started in 2019. So 6 years. 6 years ago. There we go. Oh gosh, I've got too many notepads out now. Getting swallowed over. So yeah, so I've been working on this for 6 years, give or take. And it took me 7 days to do more than half of it. So I could have finished this in a couple of weeks. And it's been languishing for 6 years. That is embarrassing. But it's done. And I need a frame for it. So it's 8 by 4. So it's not a lot of the dimensions petites are like the 5 by 7 size, but this was a bit longer and a bit thinner. So it is an odd size for a frame. So I'm going to have to do some scouting. Take my tape measure with me whenever I go out and try and find an 8 by 4 that will fit this. But yes, it's all done. All finished. Next, we worked on, I say next, some of these things I kind of worked on little bits at a time. So I don't think this was technically the next project I picked up, but it's the next one that I finished. So this is my Welcome Quaker, which is this one here. So this I started as part of Jenna's birthday sale. So we did lots of us started Quakers. She started the summer Quaker, and I was like, I know someone started the winter Quaker, but I can't remember who it was. And I started this one. So I did win this from the raffle at the Essex Needles Retreat, and that is where we'll be going back now that I have finished with it. So I did not do the complete design as called for. I basically picked out the bits that I really liked, and it was mainly this bottom border here, so underneath these alphabets, and then I really liked this pineapple that's up there. So I basically just did those bits. So I will show you this bit again just for the whole, you know, just for completion, because I'd already finished this section, which was the bottom border. I'd converted this just as I went. I basically had a thread pack for I think it was sort of golds and pinks that I got from Zoe at Paintbox Threads, and I then picked up a dark brown as well. So this is using Pearl Cotton 12 or 8, the smaller one of those two. I can't remember which one the small one is, but anyway. And then this is a piece of Megan Coffee Crafts fabric this is a piece of Sparkly's fabric in Rosy Pink. This is a piece of Megan Coffee Crafts fabric. It's got the label on it. So this is the Rosy Pink. This is 40 count. I should have measured it, but I did not. So I think this comes out to, what is it, 12 or 14 inches. Either way, I did measure it at a point because I'm going to finish this into a drum. So this is going to be the outside of my drum, and then the pineapple is going to be the top of my drum. So I needed to measure it so I knew how big a circle I would have when it was made into a drum. And so then I picked up this, which is a 28 count, because I did not want my pineapple to be too tiny. So this is on a 28 count piece from Megan, and it's all sort of browns and golds. And here is my pineapple. So it's done over 2 on 28 count, again using the same threads. I believe I did have to pull out another green for this, just because I didn't have enough colours in the colour pack to meet all the contrast. Now, in the picture, the 3 colours used from the pumpkin, I believe there was slightly more contrast between 2 of them. So because mine are slightly closer in colour, it actually makes my pumpkin look a bit tartany instead of diamondy, which I'm not mad about, but it's just quite interesting that by using different colours, you can get such different effects from the same stitches. But yeah, so that was quite fun. And like I said, so I've done this on 28 count, so it is bigger than it would have been had I done it on the 40 count. I think on the 40 count it worked out to about this size, so it's, you know, about a third bigger than it would have been, and that is going to be the top of my drum. when I finish them. But yes, so that was quite fun to work on. Yes, this was one strand over 2. They're both 1 strand over 2, but because I was using the pearl cotton, 1 strand of it is about 1.5 strands of DMC, so you know, it is thick enough using 1 strand sort of thing. Not too sparse is what I meant anyway. But yes, so we have, that was another finish. So that was 692 stitches for my little pumpkin. But that is another project finished and ticked off my list. So that's what we're on. So that's well, 3. That's 3 finishes that I had. Then I had a couple of tiny finishes that I found. So this was a kit that had come in a magazine. So just one of these free little pincushion kits. Now I'd started this years ago and just shoved it in a drawer thinking, oh yeah, I'll go around to finishing that someday. Never did. So I found it and I thought, yes, I've got to get it finished. So it's just a little pincushion with these kind of 2 violet flowers, little orange butterfly in the top there, and then you sort of stitch it with a couple of bits of felt back. I do need to stuff it still, so it has got a little hole in there ready to be stuffed, and then there's a little button in here just to put in the middle, just to kind of make the you know, the shape. So a little button to pop in there. So yeah, so I finished that. So like I said, I just need to take that upstairs and get some stuffing, and then that can be fully finished. So that was another one. And then making a mess. Where are we going next? Right, here we go. Then I picked up, went back to my Mill Hill kit. So this is the one that I had been working on whilst watching sort of the Traitors and the Bake Off. And I think I'd only done, I think, one week of watching those shows on it before this month. So I had this one to finish, and this is Glowing Pumpkin, sorry, by Mill Hill. So it's one of their autumn collection, and I got this one finished. This is 940 stitches. Oh, let's straighten that up again. Yeah, you don't really sit very well, do you? There we go. And there she is. So there's, you can see all the shiny beads there. So it's got some, what are they called? Iridescent beads, you know, the ones that kind of all different colours inside, and then just some orange beads there. But yeah, and then a heart charm. So I obviously miscounted because I didn't get this in the centre, as you can see, because there's quite a bit of space at the top, and I had one more row at the bottom. So I was 1 stitch out of going off the edge of my paper. So I would not have been impressed had I messed that up too much. But one problem I can see, so I did use the wooden Mill Hill frame that I bought from Talking Dog. And the only problem I had, and it's really only been a problem with this specific piece of paper, but you can sort of see in the corners where, when I've had it in the frame and then sort of popped it out, the actual paper, the black paper top of the piece has kind of stuck to the wood of the frame and then ripped off of here, which was sort of fine for the corners because I'm going to cut this piece out and I don't need the corners. But you know, if this piece had gone any closer to the edge, or if I did need the corners of the paper for whatever reason, yeah, it's sort of damaged quite a bit there. And I'm not sure why, because it is just wood there. I mean, yes, the magnets are really strong. So clearly they've clamped so hard with the 2 bits of wood that it's kind of fused itself to the wood instead of to this. So I did have to like scratch it off of the wood frame to kind of, you know, I couldn't just peel it off. I had to like physically scratch it off. and it's only been a problem with this one piece here. And like, I'd normally pop it out after a session of stitching, so it'd only be on there for like an hour. But yeah, the others were fine. So I don't know if it's something special about this specific kit. This specific piece of paper is slightly different to the other pieces of perforated paper I've had. I don't know. But you know, just something to watch out for if you have one of those. But yes, so that is my third finish for the little Halloween ornaments set. Ready to be fully finished, and I've dug out my black felt to cut and put on the back. So that is ready to finish when I get around to that one. Oh, let's pop that back. But yes, so that was next, and then we went on to my regular monthly goal. So this is a piece by Lola, and this is the Greenhouse of Oddities. So this is a sale that she did, oh gosh, I should have checked, was it 22, 23? Either way, I didn't do it when it was a sale, clearly. So I picked this up to work on. So I've been working on this all year, sort of trying to do a part each month as they were called for in the original sale. Oh, got hair, right. And I have been keeping up, but this month, in the spirit of the let's get things finished, I actually got this finished. So I did both November's and December's sections of this, which was a total of 1,927 stitches. Yes, and I'll show you. This is it completely finished. So this month's sections, we had these two plant pots here, and then this giant tree here, which was here, and sort of the leaves, seed pods floating out there. But yeah, so this is all finished. So this is on a piece of Megan Coffee Crafts fabric. This is a 32 in kind of a grey, green, pink kind of mottle. It's an even weave, so it's dyed a bit lighter than the linens, so it's a bit more sort of soft. But yes, but this is all finished and ready for framing. But yes, very exciting. So I did the version with Charles Darwin. But yeah, and like we always do, let's see what I've been stitching on. So this month, like I said, we had these plant pots here. Oh, there we go, that's better. So these pots here that are kind of cut through so you can see what's inside them, and then this one big tree here is there. So we're going to start with these ones, and this first plant you've likely heard of. It is Mandragora, a Mandragora officinarium apparently. So that's also known as a mandrake. So that's this one here. That looks like a little person, and that is how it looks. So let's see. So they're found in, so with the charts, we also get a PDF with all the information for what is in the charts. So yes, so these are found in Southern Europe and North Africa. It says here the mandrake has been a legendary plant for thousands of years, owing largely to its human-like appearance and its medicinal and hallucinogenic properties. And it also featured in Homer's Odyssey novel, and the mandrake was used to turn men into pigs. I will admit it doesn't actually do that, I'm afraid. So, you know, but anyway, let's see. We have a interesting translation here that I found on Europenia's website from like a doctor's, you know, a medicinal medical book. I can't remember how to pronounce that word. But yes, it says yes, the mandrake has its name for human figure because the roots consist of two legs, similar to those of a human. Although some people will try and deceive others by sculpting another root or vegetable to look like this, and then we'll kind of carve it to look like a person, and insert sort of grains of wheat into certain parts of the body so that it looks like it's growing hair, and then they will bury them to for the seeds to sort of sprout a little bit, and then dig them up again when they look like little people, and then sell them off to people to promise that they will bring them children. But yes, so but yeah, so interesting. But yeah, other things it's used for, so it's been used for healing properties in Egypt in 1500 BCE. Used to make wine to ease pain. Oh, hello Coco. Oh, please hold. Come on then. Oh, there you go. You want to be involved, right? Right, where was we? So then later, the Arabs were to use a sponge soaked in mandrake juice and opium poppy or belladonna, and then would apply it to the nose of patients to make them sleep before surgery. And it was actually the most common form of anaesthesia in Europe until the discovery of ether and NOx, like they use now. So yes, so I suppose a few hundred years ago you would have been using mandrake to fall asleep for your, procedures. But yes, so in addition, mandrake root was used widely to treat things like asthma, arthritis, inflammation and ulcers. And there was a legend from the Middle Ages that states that when you uproot it, it would scream, killing whoever was uprooting it. So therefore gathering it involved these wild rituals to make sure that it didn't scream and kill you when you harvested it. Yes. Some of them are not very pleasant, involved using other creatures to assist in that, and those other creatures would then be forfeit. Anyway, not great. You can Google that at your own leisure if you so choose. But yes, so there is our mandrake, which is our little person root there, and then this one here, which sort of looks a bit like a a little creature with its four legs and a head and a bottom. This was called a woolly fern, or the very fancy name of the vegetable lamb of Tartary, found in Southeast Asia, and it was originally believed to be a plant-animal hybrid because it kind of looked a bit like an animal, and it was a woolly fern, so it was kind of fluffy and furry. But yes, so according to legends, living sheep grew on the stems, and if you cut the stems, the sheep would die. So yeah, no one knows which plant inspired the legend in Jewish folklore, but probably this one apparently. So that's the theory we're going with. But yeah, so that is our other little plant. And then this large tree here, oh, there we go. It's this large one with the kind of little spiky trunk. And then you've got the green plants with the brown sort of seed pods here. And then the seed pods trailing out the window in the wind. So this is Hura crepitans, which is also known as the sandbox tree or the dynamite tree. It's found in the Amazon rainforest and Tanzania, and it is the contender for the world's most dangerous plant. So its sap is poisonous, and the trunk is covered in sharp spikes, and its seed capsules explode, shooting the seeds outwards at rates of 160 miles per hour, hence them all being yeeted out of this window. Yeah, and the seeds can travel as far out as 300 feet away from the tree. So it's 300 feet, apart from about 100 yards, so like 120 metres-ish. So, you know, quite a distance. But yeah. So some more facts from here. So, oh, it's the largest, one of the largest trees. I think grows to, yeah, 30 metres tall or 100 feet tall. And the trunk can be up to 1 metre thick. So, yeah, not only is it sap poisonous, but I think the spikes, oh, I'm hiding my phone. The spikes can also be poisonous. The bark is poisonous. The leaves are poisonous. The seeds are poisonous, and because the seeds can explode, the seed pods can explode quite loudly, but with, you know, a lot of force, they can also, you know, injure people or animals or anything that's passing by as they get impaled by a seed pod. Oh, and it gets its name of the sandbox tree because it was used in the colonial British West Indies as sandboxes for ink blotting. So there we go. I don't know why they would do that, knowing that it was so poisonous, why you would use it for anything at all, but you know, they decided it had a use and that's what they did. So, but there we go. There is all of our different plants, oddities, including many poisonous plants and venomous plants and carnivorous plants, and also some lovely animals there. So not forgetting, we had a mole, poison frog, we've got an owl and some butterflies, moth, but yeah. So it's very exciting to have this one finished. Ooh, but yes, so I don't think I'm going to start the aquarium just yet. That will be the next one I move on to. I do have it all kitted up and ready to go. I have the fabric. I also have the aviary all kitted up and ready to go. But I think I will start the aquarium next. But yeah, it might not be a project for next year. It might be a project for the year after. But, you know, we'll get there. So that is that one done. And all finished for the year. So that is another finish that I had this year. Now, let's see. So my last finish that I had for stitching, at least, was this that I found. Now, this project I picked up quite a while ago, and I had it sort of upstairs, and I would sort of just work on it at night. You know, once I'd gone to bed, I'd put in a few stitches here and there, and it's just been sat upstairs for a few months. I do a few stitches, you know, as and when. But I thought, right, no, let's get this one finished. So this is another one of those little free gifts that come out of the magazine. It's a little bluebird with some couple of roses there, and I just called it Little Bluebird. But it's on one of those wooden sort of perforated wooden things, and yeah, so it uses 3 strands, and then it had sort of a little string to hang it on, which I have done for now. But yeah, so, and this was 350 stitches, so a nice round number for that one. And yeah, I wrapped that out, got that all finished and ready to go. So again, I just need to pop a little bit of felt on the back just to sort of cover up. It's not necessarily just to cover the stitches because I don't like the look of them, but it's also to kind of protect the back of the stitches from getting caught and pulled, because if the end gets pulled out, it's just going to start to unravel at the front. So by gluing a bit of felt over the back, it will sort of hold all those stitches in and make sure they kind of stay tucked in. But yeah, so a little ornament, not a Halloweeny ornament, you know, a springtime ornament, but nonetheless, another finish ready to go. But yeah, so that was I believe pretty much all of my months. It was all of my finishes. No new starts. I had 6 finishes this month. So, which I did. And then that took me right up until the 29th of November. So I had a couple of days left of the month. And I hadn't been feeling that great. I've had quite a bad migraine that week. I think the most stitching I'd done in a day for that last week was 131 because I had not been great. So I wanted something nice and easy, something that didn't involve too much thinking, wasn't too big, wasn't too small, wasn't too complicated. So I picked up my Carolyn Manning, which is avocado toast. That is this one. So I will put in the photos like what it will look like when it finishes and where it started. Hopefully I have a photo of that. Something I didn't notice at the time, or I don't remember noticing at the time, but I did when I opened Pattern Keeper, was I was at 6.66%, which was quite a fun thing to notice. But anyway, either way, so I picked this up and I worked on this for 3 days and put in 2,071 stitches, and here is where we finished the month on. But yeah, so it's I don't know, it's symmetrical, not like, I wouldn't say like a mandala, but it's not, I don't think it's really a mandala, but it's like, you know, like these 4 sort of greens are also here and here and here, so it's very easy to kind of pick up a colour and sort of work around. That's pretty much how I'm doing it, is, you know, so I picked up this green, I did all the green that goes around, and then I will pick up the colour that goes in the middle here, and I will do the middles all the way around. And once I've kind of done filled in a vague row, I will start the next row and we'll be working outwards. But yeah, so we are now at, what is it, 10? No. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12.34% on this one. So I've almost, well, not quite, but I almost doubled the amount of stitches I'd already done. But yeah, so we're getting there. Like I said, this is a nice easy one to pull out when you don't want to have to think too much about it, because it's, all of the shapes are the same. They're all triangles and diamonds, and they're all exactly the same right across. So once you start, you're just doing a symmetrical square, this one, this one, this one, this one, all the way around. You're kind of just copying yourself. I have got it on Pattern Keeper, but I don't even have Pattern Keeper open when I'm working on it. So I think, you know, I'll pick up my colour and say, well, I'll pick up this brown, and I know I have to do these 4 triangles, and then I have to repeat that there. So I will just turn the phone off. So I don't have the screen glaring anywhere. It's completely off. I will work those 4, you know, sets of triangles. Then I will turn it back on, mark off what I've done and pick the next colour, and then turn it back off. So I'm only have the screen on for a very short amount of time to look at, because then I can just stitch without having to think too much, or check back and forth too much. So it's quite nice for that. But yeah, so that is that one done. And there's my frog that I got from Dobby. Dobby's also started this one. But yes, we started, I started it back in January of the year, when she was working on it for her WIPGO. But yes, that is that one. Oh, and that's on a piece of fabric flare. What is it? It's cloud brown in the 30, yeah, 32. So I will find the selvage in a second. But yeah, 32 count, 2 strands of wool broderie, so the call for colours. But yes, but then that was all my whips. I do have this to show, which is a fully finished. So this was my Red Christmas that I did the green version, and I wanted to get it fully finished for the month. And yeah, so I fully finished it into just a wall hanging. So I used this kind of yellow I was going to say sunflower, snowflakes, yellow snowflake fabric, to do on the front as well, and it's just got a little thin layer of batting in between, just to give it a little bit of stability. But yes, so, and that just needs hanging up now for Christmas. But yeah, so that's that one done, and that was done on a piece of 40 count, just plain white even weave that I got from, I think I got it from like Wool Warehouse or something, but it was just a completely plain colour, using the 730s greens as called for on the back of the chart for the green version. But yeah, and like I said, I did make a few changes around here. I made an unintentional change down here because I miscounted somewhere, but I think that was it in terms of anything that I did, and that'll be in my previous videos if you go back, if you want to see how I did it and what I did. But yeah, but there we go. So that was done over 2 on the 40 count with 1 strand of the raw broderie thread, and there we go. That was all my cross stitch whips. I have a crochet finish to show you, and then a little bit of shopping, and then we'll talk about December, because I have some plans. I can't physically show you all of my plans, so I will insert pictures because I don't have them all in front of me. So I will be making use of future Zoe going and finding them all and doing pictures, which I'm sure she loves very much. But let me pull that charger out, because that is sitting on my crochet project. So this project I started a long time ago, and I believe I did show it on one of my videos, say, oh look, I started this project and da da da. And then I did so little progress on it after that I was like, I'm not showing you like 2 rows of a blanket. Like, it looks exactly the same. So yeah, so in the spirit of finishing things, this was my project that would sit on the sofa. So if ever I was in the lounge watching TV with people, I would work on this, and it is finished. So this is the Islands Cal, so CAL, crochet along, from Tina Thora. I can't remember. I know it starts with a T, but I can't remember the rest of it, so I'm not going to try and make up her name. I will insert it somewhere. But yes, there is a top and a bottom. Do I remember which is the top and which is the bottom? No, I do not. I think it's this one. It's this long. Let me just do a foldy fold. And here it is. So it uses mosaic crochet and sort of some eyelet crochet. So these are holes in here. These are holes, but these bits aren't holes, they're mosaic crochet. So there we go. We've got some waves and some mountains. Then we've got some mountains and their reflection in the water. And then more waves, more eyelets, more mountains, bigger eyelets, mountains again, smaller eyelets, and then just some dots. But yeah, so, and then I made a envelope border. So this border is, see if I can show you. So it's made up of a back and a front. So to crochet the border, I'm not showing you very well, and I'm also covering up my mouth while I do it, which is probably not very good. But yeah, so you crochet, I'll show you on the back, it's probably better. So this bottom row here, I sort of crocheted all the way along as just a single line. So then I could make a stitch out of the front and a stitch out of the back. So I had now 2 rows all the way around. So I worked the front, which was just the exact opposite of what this is. So instead of doing the colour on the back and the white as the foreground, this is the colour on the foreground and the white dots in the back. So that was that all the way around. And then the back I just did a simple sort of double crochet border. US would be a single crochet. border, just working into the back loop, so you just had those ridges going all the way around. And then I did a crab stitch or a reverse crochet to stitch the front and the back together at the top. So that's just this here, which gives it a really nice kind of bobbly effect, which kind of I think finishes it really nice, because you can't see the actual crochet stitches anymore. I'm getting this all, I keep turning it round and it's just spinning. So yeah, so I do always like finishing things with this crochet edge, just because, yeah, like you can't see the crochet stitches anymore. Like it's just that bobbly ridge down the end, which I just think looks really neat, and it's a bit less likely to get caught, I think. But yeah, and the reason I did the envelope border was because of the style, the mosaic crochet style of this. You start and finish your thread, your yarn, at the end of each row. So I would start with the white, do one row, finish it off, cut it, come back to the start with the coloured. It was a multicoloured ball, so it had like the light blue, the green, the dark blue was all in the same ball. So I pick up the coloured ball, start it, do one row, cut it, come back to the start, pick up the white, start it, row, cut it. So now I had an end. Every single row has an end of yarn at each side. I appreciate some people would, and you know, and hops to them, like props to anyone that would do that. But there is no way I'm weaving in 416 ends. This blanket's 208 rows, and there is an end on each end. I'm not weaving in 416 bits of thread. No, thank you. I do not have enough hours in the day for that. So the envelope border, basically, my ends, I took them into pairs. I knotted them together. I did the overhand and then the underhand. You know, the sailor's knot. Is it a reef knot? I might have made that up. But anyway, the knot that's not supposed to come undone very easily. In pairs all the way along, and they are all inside this envelope. So they're inside here, and no weaving, they're all tucked in. You can't see them. The only two ends I've got that I still need to weave in, so I know technically it's not finished. I know. But the only two ends I've got are from this last line. And to be fair, I've knotted them using that same knot there. So I'll probably just take a needle and thread them into the envelope and then leave them there. That is probably what I'm going to do. Because this is a blanket for me. This is going to live in my house on my chair. So if the ends ever do start to come loose, I can just pull them back through and in. If I was gifting this to somebody else, especially if it was someone that didn't crochet or knit or sew anything, then I probably would make sure I'd secured them very well, just in case. So just to make sure they wouldn't pull out, because I wouldn't expect someone that doesn't know how to crochet to know what to do if these ends pulled free. So, but because it's just for me, I will just tuck them in, and if they ever pull out, I will suck it up and pull them in again. Like, but yeah. But if I was ever gifting it, I would. To be fair, you can see the ends that I haven't. One of my jumpers that I have, the rain catcher sweater that I made last year. I think I made it like last September, so it's what, 15 months old. I took it off a couple of weeks ago because I was showing my friend it, and I pulled it off and I was like, oh look, I still haven't like trimmed all my ends down. And it's not that I hadn't even trimmed the ends down, I hadn't even woven in some of the ends. I'd been wearing this sweater for over a year, and like, especially like under the arm with it, I hadn't even woven the end in. It was just loose. I was like, maybe I should like weave these ends in finally. So I have done that. I will, hand on heart, I did actually do that this month. So that's all woven in. I'm ready to go. But like, it was a jumper that I was going to wear. So I did know, like, yeah, if it ever came loose, I know how to fix it and I would repair it. So anyway, that was a big rant of me just saying about what I do with my stuff that probably nobody needed to know. But anyway, this finished. It's all done. But yes. So this is my blanket, and it's probably going to go over my new chair when it comes. I've ordered a new sort of recliner, rocking recliner sort of chair thing. Obviously I'll see how I get on with it when it comes. If I do a review I'll show you it all, but yes, this is going to go on there. So it is I probably should tell you what it is, shouldn't I? I can't remember. I'm going to be honest. This is I was going to say Hayfield Spirit. This bluey green one in Ocean, and I think it's a 50/50 acrylic and wool. And this white I am pretty sure is just acrylic, and it's called Buttercream. But it's very white. It's not like yellowy like buttercream would be. It's very, it's even a bluey white, like a grey white, so a cold white, as opposed to a off-white ecru. It's definitely a cold white. And I got nothing. It was just a cheap acrylic off Wool Warehouse that I bought because I wanted to use this kind of greeny one with it, and I wanted something that wouldn't overpower the variegation in the, you can't see the variegation too well inside these spots, but it is, you really can see sort of the different colours as it goes through. And I didn't want another colourful top one that would then take away, you know, where you wouldn't be able to see the contrast. That's what I'm getting at, sorry. So yeah, if anyone really wants to know, let me know, and I will go and dig up my old like invoice from Wool Warehouse and I'll find it. But yes, but that is done. Oh. Yes, and I have a lot of Tina's patterns in mosaic crochet. So I bought, she had a sale last year at some point, and I bought 3 or 4 of her different crochet, mosaic crochet patterns. But yeah, so I might have a look at some more. But yes, that is that done. Right, shopping. So this I bought from Michelle, Stitch Mania Stash. Her tag is probably in here somewhere. Yes, it is. That is good. Right. Yes, Stitch Mania Stash on Facebook. I think she has an Etsy as well, but I did not look on that. I just did the yeah, Etsy website. I only go through her Facebook page. So there you go, Stitch Mania Stash. Is it going to focus? Anyway, but yes, she had a bit of a sale, a clear out sale that she was doing on a few bits, so I bought a few bits. So we'll start at the top of the pile and work down, so in no particular order. I picked up a couple of packs of floss drops. So this is Bumblebee one with like the honeycomb and sunflower with bumblebees, because I thought they went together. So packs of those. Then I picked this up to take for retreats. So I normally take one of these, which is my ladybird, that hangs on the arm of the sofa, and I normally take it on retreat and then just kind of lay it out in front. But it's quite big, and to be fair, I don't need all the things that I have in this at retreat normally. So then it means decanting things out of here to leave in a pile here to take this, and then refilling it when I get home. And I thought, no, I'll get this. So this is a combination of a little notions pouch it's got a square bottom. So it zips up, and then this does come off. It's just on with a couple of those little keepy tags at the minute. But this is a thread mat with the felt, and you can pop all 4 together to make it into a little tray. So then that'll sit. So that is what I'm hoping to take for retreats going forward. So then I will have less clutter everywhere. Yes. So yeah, so that's just got clocks on the back. Then I bought some project bags in a variety of sizes. and shapes. So I picked up this little square one. This is going to be for my fabulous houses, so because little and square, like fabulous houses. So this is just black with like flowers. I would say some flowers, but they're not. They're just yellow flowers and leaves. It's a 9x9. It's got the vinyl front. Then I picked up this. These are 14x16s. No, 14x11. Yes, 14x11. So I got 3 of these. So I got these 2, which are sunflowers, and then they have that kind of inside. So black and white, and then a honeycomb one with bees on the flowers there. So those 3, which will hold an A4 pattern in there. Then I bought these 2. Now these are not going to really be for stitching, partly because of the size of them. I might keep one for like when I go on retreat to put all of my projects inside the one bag. But other than that, these are going to be used more for my knitting projects and crochet. So these are massive. Does it say the size? No. But these are, I don't know, well, let's see if that's 14. So these are about 16 square. Are they square? Yeah, about 16, 17 inches square. They're flat all the way around. They're not square bottomed, but they're flat. And they're just sort of, they're interfaced with quite a thick interfacing, so they will sort of stand, you know, quite well. Do that back up. But yeah, so I've got this one that's got spiders, black roses on the back, and then a skull and a raven on the front. And this one, which is little beehives and then a giant bee. So yeah, but they're going to be for larger knitting projects like sweaters or blankets, where I can put all the yarn in a bag and that. And like I said, I might use one for retreats, so that I can have all of my smaller project bags and things inside the one bigger bag, and then that will go sort of in the suitcase or whatever. And then when I'm at retreat, I just have that one bag out with everything in it, rather than trying to coordinate things. That is my plan anyway. Got the next instalment of the mini village that I'm getting these from Megan Coffee Craft Fabric. So this is the October one. So it's got little some little pumpkins outside and a little barn, some little blackbirds. But yeah, so that's that one. Again, that's the fabric and all the threads I've got. And then I'm not going to take all of these out the packets, but I will just show you very quickly. We've got this one, which is an opal. There we go. It's like a stone grain brown. It's 32 linen. And this is a 40 linen. I absolutely love that pink there. I probably should have taken these out the packets, but it is very loud and I don't want to have to fold them back up. Sorry. This is a 32 linen, and this is in a lovely sort of dark red, like a bit of a pinky red, a bit more of a plummy pink red than a brick red. And then this is like an orange fiery one, and this is a 28 linen. So orange and yellow, fiery. Hopefully that wasn't too loud, but yes. So there we go. But yeah, so that is everything to show. Quick touch on plans. I will be inserting photos. So I've got 3 new starts to have for December. So these will be my new starts and sort of my new starts going into the new year. So I'm not planning on finishing any of these this month. So yeah, these will be 3 new whips that I'm going to be taking into the new year. So my first one that I'd had planned for a little while is going to be my Christmas Day start. And this is a, oh well, I do have it here. Oh, yes, I already have it in a project bag, if I can be quite quiet. So this threads were kitted up from Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches, although she has recently closed her shop, so it's not relevant where I got them from, but they're all broderie. Fabric from Megan, Coffee Crust fabric. So this is a beigey brown, sort of winter sky kind of browny colour, opal. 28 count linen. And let's fold that up so we can pretend that we're being nice and neat. And all the called for threads in the raw broderie, and I'm starting the Stony Creek Christmas in the Woods stocking. So it's going to be this one here. So it's got deer, squirrel, cardinal. That is a, no, that's a log. Where are we? There we go. Raccoon there, a couple more birds, and a little chipmunk just there, and then a lamp. The only change I'm going to be making to this is with it being quite an old-fashioned chart. Is there even a date on this? It's book 480, copyright 2014. So I say it's quite old. It's not old, it's not like a 70s chart, but the effect of the stitching is quite old-fashioned in terms of the back stitch. I don't even think you can see it. You might be able to see it more on Santa's face. There, can you? Is it gonna? Maybe. But instead of it being like a smooth back stitch line, the back stitches literally go round every cross like this, instead of just a swoop. So the only change I'm going to be making is, yeah, when I back stitch it, I will be back stitching in a more smoother, prettier fashion. Just because I don't like the way that looks. There's nothing wrong with it. I just personally don't. I think it looks old-fashioned. So, you know, that's me. But still, like, even like, I might have to take a close-up picture because showing it you can't see. But even like this string for the that's going around the post, instead of it just being like a string going in a line, it's stepped like that. And I'm like, strings don't look like that. Like that's not how life looks. I want it to be smooth. But yes, so I'll be stitching that, and that's going to be my Christmas Day start. So yeah, it's Christmas in the Woods, book 480 from the Stony Creek collection. Now, again, it doesn't actually have the stitch count in here, but I've kind of estimated, you know, like I took that part of the foot off and put it down here, and then vaguely added up how many boxes, you know, how many stitches it was. And I've estimated this has about 25,000 stitches, including back stitch. So I want it done in a year. So I need to be doing about 2,000 and a bit stitches each month, which very conveniently, it's 480 high. So I just need to do like 2 rows every month. And if I just do 2 rows every month, 20, you know, that'll be, I can't count. It's 240 high. I doubled it and then doubled it again. I didn't need to double it again. So it's 240 stitches high. So if I do 2 rows each month, that'll be 12 months. That shouldn't have been that hard to work out. But anyway, I did count it. I added it all up and there. So that is that new start. Then I got, I'm starting with Fabulous Houses with Mum. So we're going to be starting that on New Year's Eve, ready for the new year. I'm going to be starting with the Tudor House. Not particularly because it's my favourite house, but just I'm starting with that one because that I was gifted the thread for that. So the not the Weeks, the other one, the Classics Colourworks that I needed was out of stock. The lovely Alison from the Essex Needles Retreat gifted me some of her like leftovers from another project, and there is enough for me to do the Tudor House, so I will be stitching that one. So again, thank you very much, Alice, for that. But that is going to be a New Year start, and Mum is starting one as well. I'm not sure if she's undecided which one she's starting yet. We'll have to wait and see. And then my third start, which I was roped into with with Jenna, Redheaded Stitcher. she was like, oh, I found this chart, and I'm thinking of starting one in winter. And I was like, oh, I think I have that chart already, out of a magazine. And it was out of one of the magazines. I cannot remember which year. I will have to see if I've still got it written down, and I will add that in here. And it is a penguin mandala. So it's from, I can't remember. I would have to add that in as well. My head's starting to go again, so I'm really struggling now. Yeah, I've got nothing. But anyway, it's one of the mandala ones. So obviously you can buy it through her website, or if you happen to have this issue of the magazine, it is in there. And this is Jenna's Pick Up a Penguin sale. And we will be starting that on the winter solstice, which is the 21st of December. So in terms of my stitching this month, I have 8,000 stitches to do to get my last 2 WIPGO boxes ticked off for my Animal Kingdom. Then I will be starting the penguin on the 21st, and I will probably work on that for a few days until Christmas. And the 25th, I will be starting my stocking, and I will work on that for a few days until the new year. And then New Year's Eve, I'll be starting the Fabulous House. And to be fair, I will probably work on that for a couple of days as well until I do my December wrap up. I know not everyone has time or likes to watch the WIP parades. So again, this year I will probably do the same as what I did last year. So I'll have 3 videos that we're going out. So I have my regular December recap, which is like this, like these ones. That I'll probably film in the first couple of days of the new year with this is what I worked on in December. I will have my full WIP parade video with all of my WIPs in it. And then I will have a separate 2026 plans video and with my 2025 kind of full year roundup. And to be fair, I will probably do that. I'll probably be filming that with and taking all the figures from the 20th of the month. So I won't be including those last 3 projects, those 3 new starts in those numbers. Just because if I wait until I've got all of the numbers, then that means waiting until the new year to start that. And then I'm having to film both of those in the new year and then try, no. So we're going to be cutting off for the 20th of the month. And that will be when I do my 2025 figures and my 2026 plans. I will probably film my WIP parade in between Christmas and New Year and get that up. And then my December update will then be done in the new year, first couple of days of January. They will be labelled as such, my WIP parade will be WIP parade. So if you aren't bothered about a WIP parade or aren't bothered about plans and things, you can skip, which videos to skip or watch. If you want to watch them, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I will have them separately. Also, because I fear that if I put them all in one video, we're going to have a 4 or 5 hour video, and I don't think my phone would upload that much. It already takes about 18 hours to upload a 1 hour video. If I was uploading a 4 or 5, how many days is my phone going to be trying to upload this video? No, I don't have the upload speeds in this house for that. But yeah, so that is plans for this month. I'm done. I am going to go and lie down. So, actually, before I do, I did promise a update for Coco. So I will do that before I go. But yes, I will do my own health update on another day when I am not feeling so rough. But for Coco, yeah, she was, so we've been the last few months, she's been struggling with her breathing. She's had a few attacks and sort of took her on to the vets. I was like, it sounds like she's trying to cough up a furball, but there is no furball. And she's sort of coughing a lot and things like that. So I don't know what it is. And took her in there and they were like, we think it could be asthma. I'm not sure how much of this I've already told you, so I'll just tell you the whole story. So we think it might be asthma. So there's lots of different tests we could do, but basically if we give her the steroids and the asthma clears up, and then we stop the steroids and it comes back, then it's asthma. So I thought rather than having to have her sort of knocked out and all of these different tests, we'll just try the steroids because it was the least invasive and the safest option. The vet had already ruled out, you know, she'd already like listened to her chest and took her temperature and done blood and all those other tests to say, well, it's not anything that's immediately concerning. As in, it's not anything that if we don't do a test today, it would be fatal. Like we're pretty certain it's just asthma. So took the steroids, it cleared up, stopped the steroids, it came back, did that again, same thing happened. So we're like, okay, so yeah, we're pretty sure it's asthma. So going forward, she's going to need an inhaler. So it's like, okay, how do you give an inhaler to a cat? So that was an interesting few days. Basically, we have it's like a spacer, but then it has a muzzle on the end that you put over the cat's face. So, okay, so yeah, it took about a week of training her to get used to having this thing like over her face. Lots of treats, lots of cuddles, lots of practice with it. But it's been probably about 3 weeks now, I think. And she's getting there. She's getting there really well. She takes her inhaler. She doesn't particularly like it. She has 2 different inhalers that she takes twice a day. For anyone that takes inhalers, she's on the blue one and the purple one. So the reliever and the preventer. The purple one, she does not like the taste of. So I have to count her breaths to make sure she has the correct number of breaths in it. And we get about halfway and she's trying to like pull out of the mask. She's like, no, I've had enough. It's like, you have to keep going. So yeah, she doesn't like the taste of that one. But she always gets a little bit of treat afterwards to wipe away the taste, which is good. And yeah, and she knows what time, the time of day we do her spray, and she will come and she'll come and sit down next to me, and you know, we have a routine now. And yeah, she's very well behaved with it. She very takes it. Like I said, touch wood, we've not had any attacks since. That they do want to do an x-ray of her lungs, just to make sure that there is not an underlying condition causing the asthma. But they said because we have to put her under a general to give her an x-ray, she needs to be well enough to go under a general. I call it a general, but it's like whatever the cat version of a general anaesthetic is. I don't know if that's what they call it. But yeah, they're like, because we need to knock her out, she needs to be well enough. So she needs to have gone at least a good month without any coughing, any breathing issues, any asthma attacks, any shortness of breath, wheezing. Like, needs to be a full month clear before we'll consider doing that. So yeah, we're getting there slowly. But yeah, I'm really proud of her that she lets me do the inhaler. She's really good. I'm pretty sure she only does it because she gets the treats afterwards, but you know what, a win's a win. So we'll keep doing that. She gets a quarter of a licky lick, so the little yogurty tube things. I sort of squeeze it out into a little pot, and then I kind of give her a quarter of that after each dose. So I thought, I can't give her a whole one of those twice a day. I thought she's just going to get fat then, and that's not good. But we'll give her a little bit. But no, she's very good. She's getting there. And she's a lot more active now than what she was before, which is lovely to see, but it's also quite sad that she'd been slowing down for the last couple of years, and I just assumed it was, I mean, she's like 9 years old now, so I was like, oh, she's just an older cat. Like, of course she's not playing around like a kitten anymore. But no, she is playing around like a kitten again now, and it turns out that it wasn't that she was getting old, it was that she just couldn't breathe. And I didn't notice because she didn't have any symptoms up until sort of the last few months, or not any visible symptoms that I could pick up on. you know, other than her kind of getting a bit slower and a little bit more tired, like an older cat would do. So yeah, so I know it's not my fault for noticing, but it is quite sad that you're like, oh, like, you've not been well for a while, okay. But either way, she's getting better now. So yeah, she's very much playful, very much more playful now, which is really nice to see. Much to the detriment of the other two cats, who had figured that Coco was just like a nice, quiet little, you know, cat that would just sit in the corner and not play or anything. And now Coco's back to sort of chasing after them and jumping on them and sneaking up behind them, and yeah, all of a sudden. So I don't think they're too impressed that she's more playful again. But no, but she's doing really well again. Now she's a lot brighter, which is good. But yes, so there we go, all done. So that was my November update. And yes, so I hope everyone had a good month and is looking forward to December. I hope everyone's getting ready to wrap up for the year, with any goals that you'd set or any sort of, you know, things you were aiming for. I hope we're getting there as well. And that is me done. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are, and I will see you all very soon. So I love you lots, and bye bye.